Howdy everyone, let's take a look at the Orchid by the Botanical collection. This is the LEGO Creator Expert line. This is set number 10311 and it contains 608 pieces. It's recommended for ages 18 and up. So we get to build an orchid plant in a pot. So here's the back of the box, and yes, it is not for sale because this is another one of those promo things. So here is the various things, and it does stand 39 centimeters or 15.4 inches tall. So seems like it's pretty large. Now I'm going to be honest with you before we dive into the review. Just the graphics on this box makes this set look depressing. I'm being honest with you. It's the black background that just turns me off on these. I've already did one before, and the build is completely different than what you'd see on the box. This looks dark and gloomy. I wish LEGO would change the backdrop on this box. Let's head over to the LEGO table and see what the orchid looks like on a brightly lit surface. Here is the orchid, and as you can tell, it is very bright and colorful compared to what was on the box. So this looks just as good on a white background versus the dark, dingy LEGO box background. The build quality, I'd say it's average. It's strong up to a point. You got to put together all these individual branches. You got to make 6 orchid flowers, and you got some of these here. And the pot was pretty interesting. Now I have some links in the description for the build process if you'd like to see my notes on it and ramblings and stuff. So when you are building this, you have to follow the instructions very carefully. If you're not sure of something, always read ahead and make sure you know if you have to make like 2 or 3 or something. Like these here, you think you had to make 32 of these. There's several rings inside of here. You got to make 3 of these large leaves, 6 orchids, and all kinds of stuff. So you really have to focus on the manual. This is obviously not meant for children. I'm not going to say it's a hard build. It's pretty tedious. Lots of little pieces. A lot of things can go wrong. But as you can see, the outcome is really good. Now, I've been known not to sugarcoat my reviews and stuff, but honestly, it is a nice, beautiful flower. Now, what can we use this for? You know, could you put this in a LEGO city? Well, obviously not. This is pretty much 1-to-1 scale. It does stand 39 centimeters or 15.4 inches tall, so it is pretty tall. It is somewhat pretty stable, pretty sturdy. I mean, if you drop this on a concrete floor, it'd probably break, but for the most part, when I was building it, it was pretty sound. I had a few things come apart, like the flowers, so if you're not really careful, they do tend to flake apart, as well as these right here, these little extra vines that stick out. And don't worry, we'll be taking a closer look in a little bit. So we got some of these pieces that are just this is just sitting in here. So they try to make this look like mulch or something. But yeah, the build quality was pretty good. Did it keep my interest? Yes and no. Yes, the pot, I really want to see how this was built. So I enjoyed putting this together. I wasn't too sure about it, but this is probably the sound part of the build. And I got up to this point here, pretty sturdy actually, pretty rigid. When you get up to this point here, things get a little repetitious, but you have to really follow the instructions on this. So this would be great for like a cubicle, or you could even put this on your dining room table on top of your fireplace mantle and stuff. It's just meant to be a display piece, nothing more. And the good thing about this orchid is you don't have to water it. And since it's allergy season, my allergies have been flaring up. Well, I can't blame this. It's not real. So, If you have really bad allergies, this is the way to go. All right, but all in all, though, for this being a creator expert set, it's really a nice detailed build. But let's take a closer look at the details. Okay, starting with the pot, we do have several individual pieces dumped inside here. See if I can get in there and pull out a few for you. We got a couple of these claw pieces. They do come in reddish brown and dark brown. And there's some 2x2 flat tiles in there and these vine things. I think they were just trying to find something to fill that in, because there is a plate in here that's pretty exposed. It didn't look too appealing, so it does make it look more rugged inside. And the stems look pretty good. I'm taking it these are supposed to simulate, you know, if you have like a stick in your pot to keep the orchid from falling down, because you can see the main shaft right here. We'll go around to the back here. Yeah, it's all those branch pieces, all individually packaged up. And those were a bit time consuming to put together. And yes, I know I'm talking slow. We got to admire the orchid. So here's one of the orchids here up close. I'm hoping the focus is okay. We have a little, I think, a magenta frog and some of these Technic pieces here. Trying to find out where I'm pointing at. Oh, there I am. These flowers are pretty sturdy. If you watch the build progress, you obviously can tell we used the sporks. I had to fight with the sporks a few times. See if I can find a better one right here. So it's actually a spork in the back, or a fork. Not a spork, I don't know what I'm thinking. It's one of those early mornings again. Honestly though, these types of sets are not my type. But it was a very fun, pleasant build. It's something different than I normally would build. You know, I'm by all means not somebody who likes to keep up with plants and watering them and stuff. But as far as for the orchid is concerned, it is a nice build. So if you have an area that needs some color that you just don't want to water, there you go. And I believe that this retails for $49.99. That's US currency. Don't hold me up to that. But it is a very nice build. It is a bit on the pricey side, but at least you don't have to water it. At least it saves on the watering. About dusting this, I don't know how you dust it, maybe with a little paintbrush or something, but it's pretty sturdy. I feel like nothing's... I mean, it feels like you're going to break something on this, but... Nonetheless, this would make a great conversation piece. Like I said, you could put this on your fireplace mantle, or, you know, maybe in a cubicle, someplace if you don't have access to a window. All in all, though, I'm very pleased with this build. It's something that I wouldn't purchase personally, but I may reconsider after this.